So what I did was to clean the image so that we can again regain our space among the Committee of Nations. We'll be respected. We had to do everything to, it's a very crowded place, as you know, the international, and there are a lot of other countries that want to be at the UN Security Council, be it in the permanent or the non-permanent category. So we had to do quite a lot to be considered worthy of that position. That is what we did. And for me, it is important because we have been able to secure peace with the support of the international community. It is now time for us to take peace to other parts of the world, to share our experience as a country that was ravaged by war, and how we were able, through a peaceful settlement, to get peace. I think it's an opportunity.
Ask you about the most recent election. Various observers, including the Carter Center, have raised concerns about the fairness of the election, especially focused on the work of the Electoral Commission, ECSL. The U.S. State Department has issued visa restrictions on Sierra Leoneans involved in what they call election interference. And we'd all like to hear your reactions to those allegations and to the actions taken in response.
Elections are always contentious issues wherever they happen in the world, including in the United States. But I did not have the power to issue visa restrictions, of course. That's the difference.
Please allow me to continue coming to Sierra Leone.
Elections are conducted by a body mandated by our Constitution, and its operational mode is directed by the Public Elections Act. Normally, before elections take place, because we have our partners, including the United States, the EU, the British, and other organizations that are interested in democracy, a steering committee is put together, and all stakeholders, including political parties, are represented in that steering committee. What they do is to look at everything that has to be done, the rules of the game, to make sure that the Public Elections Act is clean and will lead to a credible election at the end of the day. That was what pertained in Sierra Leone. I was not a member of that. The only thing we did for the election was to make sure that whatever the National Electoral Body asked for, we provided, including funds and security. Their business, they are an independent, semi-autonomous body, in the sense that day-to-day operations, we don't control that at all. If we do, that would be interference.
That's ECSL?
ECSL. And they did that. When the elections were at the height of calling the result, this was when the problem started. They had done all their calculations, collation, and all the processes. I was now requested to stop them from calling the result by the United States. So I don't know who is accusing who of interference.
Yes.
And I declined and I said, I have never called this institution. I am not going to call them now. If there are any issues, let's deal with them. Let's leave them to finish. This is very critical. Let's also take into consideration the context in West Africa, a very volatile region. We are threatened by jihadists in the whole of the Sahel, From the Atlantic Ocean to the Red Sea, we have military governments. A few of us are surviving as democratically elected governments. And when the United States cast doubt on an election that was considered to be the most peaceful, not my words, but the observers, free and fair, and then the United States cast doubt on the credibility, you are calling for a coup. This is what we don't recognize. In any case, the same representatives of the United States have told us that in any case, they just wanted a second round. In any case, I was going to win because all the polls made that clear. And I can say here that based on what I have done in the last 5 years, under the circumstances, we can go to the polls today and in a free, fair election, I will not get 56%. I will get nothing less than 60%. So, I mean, it is unfortunate what the U.S. has done insofar we have a great bilateral relationship with the United States. I told the American ambassador in my office, I said, I am a better ambassador for America in Sierra Leone than you are. I was trained in the United States, and I know the values that should be projected out there. You are a stranger, you've only been here for a few days. We allow you to go, but know that I'm a better ambassador here for the United States than you. So it's unfortunate what is happening, casting doubt and creating that air of instability. But we still seek a great relationship. We are looking for a reconsideration.
Well, this is my next question, actually. I saw that you met with the new U.S. ambassador, who himself is an American University alum. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I heard about that.
Brian David Hunt is his name. And you said on Twitter, my government remains committed to working with the United States towards strengthening our strategic partnership and mutually beneficial cooperation. So given the U.S. sanctions related to the election, how do you see the future of U.S.-Sierra Leone cooperation? Are you looking to work with other partners internationally?
Of course, we have a great relationship. I think this is just a little peck. And it will prepare of when the objective reality is understood by the United States. Sometimes the wrong information filters out here, and those actions are informed by the wrong information. I still believe that I will use my time in the United States and also try to contact different people to understand. We are only 60 years into democracy. We are not 250 years. We should be allowed to make mistakes. If we do, correct the mistake and we will continue. We should not be treated as if we are the experts in democracy. Elections are always troublesome, and we should be careful how we deal with them. So we are seeking a very amicable relationship. We will continue to explain. We know somebody somewhere is going to hear the truth and know that sometimes dialogue is better than these coercive, punitive actions.
So moving away from that now, you mentioned yourself that you've appointed a lot of young, new cabinet ministers.
Late 20s, after nearly 30 years, of one-party rule. If I could do that in my 20s, they can do that in their 30s. We're educated, are more exposed than I was at the time I made those strategic decisions for our country. So I believe and trust in that.
This is the last of my questions, and then we'll turn to the others.
Okay.
I know we have members of the Sierra Leone diaspora here today, and I'm sure you'd like an opportunity to address the diaspora about how they can best be involved in Sierra Leone's development.
Well, quite a lot of them are involved already. Some of the people, some of them, the ones at home, you will know that they call them home base. And we call this the AGC. So we combine them because there's so much. I have always said to people, we come to places in the West to learn the good things that you've done to make your society stick and function. It is our responsibility to take those values and systems back home. So there's quite a lot, the exposure, the value systems they've acquired, work ethic, and every other thing. So we take, from time to time, we pick among them, and we also combine that with the home, and we get going. So I believe that they have a role to play. In expertise, we still have huge capacity gaps, I must confess. The only thing is that we cannot pay them enough when they go back home. So it's always difficult to convince them to go back home. Those who have gone have made serious sacrifices as far as remuneration is concerned. So Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora, you are always invited back. Just have to be ready to make this necessary sacrifice. You cannot get up at 1 and think that you can go to McDonald's and get your... Sometimes you touch the faucet and it's just... no water. And so there are inconveniences to suffer. But that is part of the patriotism. We have to work, we have to fix. I see here for us, we come and learn and go and fix.